So now it's just a dance.
0.3 Ramapo Radio, WRPR Mawa.
Ramapo! Are you sick of DJs who get paid to get songs played off a set list that exists in the money-filled fists of the fat cat? That's old hat. You don't need that. Let's bring back the good tracks with the real cats who you knew you, and blew you away with the way they could say what they wanted to say every day. Let's bring back the good old days when cruising with the tunes in the afternoons was in, and human beings were human beings who loved the simple things, not being rough, tough, or rich enough to buy all that stuff. When people drove with their windows open and listened to music and had good times rolling, and they loved singing with the radio. Singing with the radio. Let's bring that back. Ramapo 90.3 on the FM dial. While streaming online, you'll find WRPR is by the people for the people. And let's bring back singing with the radio. Singing with the radio.
You're listening to WRPR Mawa.
Now that's a face for radio.
You are now listening to Beasts of the East with Ryan Morick, Scott Thompson, and Dean Roventini on WRPR 90.3 FM.
Hello, fans of all ages. We are indeed the Beasts of the East. Ryan Morick, Scott Thompson, Dean Roventini here with you on this Wednesday, October 12th, 2016. Thank you for tuning in on WRPR 90.3 FM, Mawa, Ramapo College Radio. How are you guys doing today?
Okay.
Well, I woke up late for our game.
Yeah, you did wake up late.
I woke up at 12. Our game was at 12. I set my alarm, and I do it sometimes, and unfortunately today was one of those days, for 10:30. But it was set to PM, not AM. So I slept right through it. Clearly I needed sleep because I woke up at 12 o'clock. I was all groggy. I was like speed walking down to the field. I didn't miss much. You guys were up like 2 scores already. I walked down there. I saw an interception by Shore. So
we that was like the first drive.
Exactly.
I
did a good job.
We've had an interception on the first drive in back-to-back games.
So not the first game?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
first game I think was 3 games in a row where we've had an interception on first drive. Wow,
we're good.
We are pretty good.
Some say the best in the school.
Some do say the best.
It's not even tooting our own horns, but yeah.
We have been getting a lot of compliments though. Yeah, we really have been.
That's like nice. It's funny. I think we're 3-0, which we're not. Like we're 2-1.
We are 2-1.
But people like think we're 3-0. Like, you know what I mean? Like
well, we could be a 3-0 team if we didn't play.
Of course. We go Nationals, bro.
God himself. Like quarterback. I mean, you should have seen him today playing against the team we played first week.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
It was so funny.
I forgot.
No, I didn't stay. Me and Ryan had to go call the game, so when we walked by, it was the baseball team was playing them, and he wasn't even trying. He might as well have thrown lefty. He was going to throw dimes.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much how it went today.
Well.
So we took home the win.
Of course.
But the New York Giants, we've been talking about it all week. Oh, Dean, by the way.
What's up, man? Thanks.
How was hosting the show?
It was alright. It was all right. I mean, it was fun. It's hard to come up with stuff. And
hey, you're telling me. I do this every day.
Yeah, I know.
And you guys just...
But you know what?
My back hurts.
Mike's not a big talker. So it's hard to like fill in space.
The best part.
But he was good though.
I was listening on Monday when I was driving, and all I hear is Dean's like, "Oh yeah, Giants this, Giants that." Mike, you didn't watch the game, and I was like, "Oh God, this is just gonna be Dean talking for a whole hour."
Yeah, but then he brings up a stat like as if he did watch it. He's like, you know, the Packers had 39 minutes possession, and the Giants. I was like. And I'm sitting here.
I was like, all right, great.
His phone is set up right there. I lean over, and I'm like, oh, he's looking at he's looking at ESPN.
Oh, no, I was not just pulling it out of nowhere. I mean, me and George were listening to it walking back from the soccer game as well. And we listened, and we just hear Mike talking. He's like, Eli and George like, wait, he didn't even watch the game.
Yeah, no. It was fun though.
But he did a
How
good
did
job.
yesterday go? Monday went all right.
Yesterday was good. We
What did you guys talk about?
Basketball,
What did we
you
talk
said
about?
again? Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, we called Kaepernick. We went back to basketball.
Kaepernick got named the starter today.
Yeah,
No, that was yesterday.
Yesterday. That's why.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
we talked about it. And then what did we start the show? What did I start the show with?
I don't know. Mike explained to me
Something
afterward.
else, but like something like relevant. I forgot.
I would hope. I mean,
I know, but like I forgot what it was.
I don't know.
How could I didn't record it? Because I don't know what to do after I record it. I'm still learning.
You could just record it and then just leave it and then he'll touch it.
Oh,
yeah,
I was thinking that, but
No, there are times when I go in that studio and it says recording 1 day, 12 hours, and I'm like, oh, someone forgot to shut the record
job,
button
guys.
off. Oh well. So, New York Giants 2-3. They're going up against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday.
Oh, I talk about Poppy. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
I
right.
figured. All right. Sorry.
So, 2-3, going against Baltimore at home, a game that you should win, and they should win next week against LA in London. Hopefully, the Giants go 4-3 entering the bye week. But before that, there has been a lot of talk over the last couple of weeks, especially with this 3-game losing streak, that Jerry Reese might get fired at the season's end, especially if the Giants don't make the playoffs. I always said last year the reason why Jerry Reese kept his job, there were 3 reasons why Jerry Reese kept his job last year. A, he drafted Odell Beckham Jr. B, he's relatively young. And C, there was room for improvement. He improved the defense a lot, but a lot of people are ripping him for not doing anything with that offensive line. So, if the Giants don't make the playoffs, does Jerry Reese get fired or should he get fired?
No, not at all.
No,
because
I agree with you.
The way he did everything, yeah. Offensive line compared to what the defense was last year, I think defense was top priority. You can't go out there and get every single person that you need fit. I mean, they could have done it in the draft. That's a good speculation toward that. But either way, they had to bolster up their defense, and clearly that defensive line isn't working out right now. And you can't blame, we always talk about, managers in baseball. You can't blame your players for not performing to what they're supposed to.
I saw a great
Especially
tweet. If
GM.
Picasso never had art, he wouldn't be an artist.
Exactly. So exactly. No. That's perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing you could speculate.
Or paint. If you didn't have paint,
Yeah,
you
I was
wouldn't be an
gonna say,
artist.
like,
That's it.
We didn't-
If you didn't have art, yeah.
Try right.
Yeah, it's probably paint.
No, but I don't even think it's a tough call to make. Next year you can talk about it if you don't address that offensive line, because I think that's one of your main issues right now. But because the defense isn't performing up to the standards or the money that was given to them, I mean,
I think they are. It's a lack of turnovers
I
that
don't
look like
think
it.
so.
But you have to remember that they just let up only 23 points to the Packers. They only let up 13 to the Saints. They let up 19 to the Cowboys, who have now been playing excellent football.
you
They're
said only 23 points. That's 23
That's
points.
not bad against the Packers.
but against
That's
a-
not bad.
It's just
Green Bay at home, coming off of a bye week when you just played on Monday night and your secondary is hurt.
It's just the
That's
way.
not bad.
It's just the way it happened. I'm talking. Well, you want me to talk defensive line specifically? Aaron
Okay,
Rodgers
right.
again could have ran upstairs, got a hot dog, and come
Right.
back down.
Right.
I mean, it's
I think the secondary is doing a very
when you
good
pay a
job.
guy over $50 million guaranteed, and then you're giving Jason Pierre-Paul money as well. I mean, someone's got to put some sort of pressure. I mean, it literally looked like a walkthrough at some point. It looked like they were just trying to contain him the entire time. You can't do that with Aaron Rodgers. Got to be able to put pressure, and they haven't been able to do it for 4 weeks. Pierre-Paul and Vernon have a sack apiece, and that's it. Hankins and Harrison haven't even gotten to the quarterback. So
I think it's kind of, I mean, when you brought it up, I kind of was like just laughing because I don't think it should be really even a conversation right now, because look at the offseason he had. I mean, it was an offseason. We talked about this in the offseason, saying that this is not a Giants type of offseason. They have done something that they've never done in a long time. So I think you keep your job, like, by this past offseason, even though I just said offseason like 6 times.
Off-season.
Offseason.
Off-season.
And even with the offensive line, like, I don't know. I'm a big believer of, I don't think you can just sign an offensive lineman and, like it can work. I think it's a group of guys that have to come together, and I like what they're doing, and they're trying to grow. Even though I don't like half of them, I think they're trying to grow a young offensive line for the future, and it's not. They're not very developed right now.
Like we say, it's just bad play. They're just not playing up to standards. I mean,
Eric Flowers is not playing well. Justin Pugh is not playing well.
Weston Richburg is getting unfortunate conduct penalties, which makes absolutely no sense for an offensive lineman. I mean, it's stuff like that we were talking about, and I was telling you actually at the soccer game today during halftime, because we always somehow bring up football. The first 2 weeks we were talking about how this team is 2-0, but they still need to just tweak a few things together, and then they can be a real powerhouse. And it was one or two incidences that happened. Now you look at games, you're like, all right, what actually went right? Because there's just too many things between offense and defense and holding calls, unsportsmanlike conducts on picks. It's just dumb football. And somehow the Giants have managed to do that for 3 weeks straight.
Now, I agree with both of you. I do not think Jerry Reese should be fired. Did I want him to do something with the offensive line? Yes. But again, the main focus was defense. You had one of the worst defenses in NFL history last year. That's why they lost games. This offensive line is not any worse than what they were last year. If anything, they are getting better. Mm-hmm. I think that's very tough for people to realize, but you also have to remember, Rashad Jennings is hurt. Shane Vereen is hurt. Eli Manning is flat out not playing well. His play is not because of the offensive line. His play is just the fact that he can't throw a football the right way anymore. He's looking how Peyton did toward the end of his career. Peyton Manning could not throw a football all that well. Eli Manning is doing the same exact thing right now. And when I called in on Monday, I said, maybe it's just age. Maybe it's that one play where he got absolutely smoked against Washington and he has not been 100% healthy. That is personally my opinion. I think he's playing hurt because the first 2 weeks he did play pretty well. And I don't think it's a coincidence that since then he's played poorly, especially against Green Bay, who had two of their starting corners hurt, and they're already a bad defense to begin with. So I think that Eli Manning is playing hurt. But going back to what I said, this team, this offense, was a top 8 offense last year in the league. They had the 8th most points, 6th most yards. It was the 8th and 6th in yards and points. I forget which one was which. They scored 28 points a game last year, and they led up about 28-29. The defense was the reason why they lost games, not because of the offensive line. And you know what? They did make the offense better. They got Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard is their number 2 receiver, and we've been saying it every show, every time we talk about the Giants, those 3 might be the best receiver trio in the NFL. So the offense got better. You have depth at the running back position now with Jennings when he's healthy. Vereen, unfortunately, he's out for the year. But you have Darkwa. You have Rainey. You drafted a running back in Perkins. They have a lot of depth. Sure, the offensive line didn't get touched, but again, Rashad Jennings led the NFL for 4 weeks, dating back to week 14 of last year. Heading into the Saints game, he led the league in rushing yards. So when your starting running back is hurt, the starting running back who is finally getting a lot of playing time, when he's hurt, and your second running back is hurt, and your quarterback is not playing well, you can't really blame the offensive line. Are they a great offensive line? By all means, no. But again, the main focus was the defense, and Jerry Reese improved the defense. It's not what we have been expecting. They finally got their first turnover on Sunday. First two on Sunday against Aaron Rodgers, which, of course.
Which just doesn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
Because of course it does. But if you think Jerry Reese wants to be fired, did anyone expect Eli to play this poorly? Did anyone expect Odell to not score for the first 4 games?
Did anyone expect Rashad Jennings to be out and kill the run game so that 2 safeties could sit back and cover 2 the entire time?
Exactly. That's why Jerry Reese should not lose his job. Maybe depending on why maybe if the defense just crashes and burns this year, maybe if the fully healthy defense is bottom 10 of the league again, then okay, maybe Jerry Reese did something wrong. But The Giants are not losing right now because the offensive line is bad. They're losing because Eli Manning is not playing very well. That's the bottom line.
They're not playing very well, and you said
and a lot of people are hurt.
Yeah, they let up 23 points, and you had DRC and Apple on the sideline. That's good. Because the secondary, if you watched, Trevor Wade had a little bit of a better game than what he did against the Vikings.
No, he did.
He actually saved a touchdown, kicked the ball out of bounds.
And the touchdown to Jordy Nelson, Eli Apple was covering him, and you saw Eli Apple could not run. He couldn't cut. He couldn't put pressure on his legs like that.
And still, he had great pressure on him. Jordy Nelson had to sprawl out to catch that, and anyone else probably might not catch that. You get Jenkins getting 2 picks. It's just... There's certain aspects that we said you just had to tweak a little bit. Now you really got to look back and say, all right, we really need to fix this now. Because defensive line needs pressure. Offensive line needs to keep Eli in the pocket for at least 3 seconds. There's a reason he's releasing early is because, he is getting pressured. Obviously, he's not standing strong in his pocket. I mean, you saw him roll out to the left the other day, and he couldn't even do it. He tripped and fell and fumbled. I mean, it's play like that. Unfortunately, it's key people that aren't playing well. You have Eli Manning not playing well. That means Odell's not playing well. Rashad Jennings is out. Your top 2 corners are battling groin injuries and hamstring injuries. It's tough, and that's why I don't think you can put any of that on Jerry Reese. He bought his way to a better team, and it definitely was a better team. Look at the first 2 weeks when you hold a team.
The defense is better.
When you hold a team to 19 and 13 points, that's how you know it was better. It's just now you need. We gave you the money. You need to perform now, and that's not his fault.
It might not look like a $200 million defense or however much money they spent, but it is much improved. It is much improved, and I don't think you can blame Jerry Reese on it. 201-825-1234 is the phone number. That's 201-825-1234. And this was the conversation last year. Why did Tom Coughlin get fired and not Jerry Reese? Jerry Reese didn't give Tom Coughlin the players. And we say it all the time. How much can a coach or manager do if they don't have the players? Well, flat out, Tom Coughlin did not do a good job last year. He's turning 70 if he hasn't already. It was his 12th year as a head coach. He was done.
He was on his way out, yeah.
And he's been on the hot seat for 5 years. If he didn't win a Super Bowl, or if he didn't win one of the 2 Super Bowls, he would have been gone 4 years ago. That's the year after they won the Super Bowl. People were calling him to be fired. So that's why Tom Coughlin, quote unquote, resigned, because it just wasn't there anymore. He's 15 years older at least than Jerry Reese. Again, Jerry Reese kept his job for 3 reasons. There was room for improvement, which he did, his age, and he drafted Odell Beckham Jr. Those are the 3 reasons why he kept his job. It's that simple.
And that's why GMs keep their jobs too. I mean, sometimes it comes down to, obviously there's luck involved, but at the same time it's strategic luck. You could say when he drafted Odell Beckham, obviously the top receiver coming out of that draft, but you didn't think he'd have that immediate impact that he did. And then, having to face problems. Obviously the main issue was fixing the defense. And what did he do? Took the cap space they had and spent it. Rightfully so. You give it to Olivier Vernon. I think he will live up to his money. Just right now, he just needs to figure out how to get to the quarterback. They're stopping the rush. They're setting the edge.
They are.
It's just making sure that you can get to the quarterback. You got to put on pressure. That's how you win ball games. Got to be able to make sure that, we always talk about unforced errors and how you don't want to make any. You got to force the quarterback to work. If he beats you, fine. But right now, it's just very lackadaisical on both sides.
And even some of the insurance for Jerry for Reese that was his job. You say he drafted Odell Beckham. These past couple of drafts, these past years, he's done a phenomenal job. I mean, you look at this past year with Eli Apple and Shepard. I know it's only a couple weeks into their careers, but they've been meeting expectations, and some, even Shepard surpassing them already. No one knew what he could be. Even when, was it 2 years ago, when they traded up in the second round, they got Collins.
That was last year, 2015.
Yeah. Loved that.
Loved that.
I thought it was amazing.
Smart
pickup. So it's showing, I think, I mean, us as fans, that he's kind of, he's getting it. He knows who to draft. Them as an organization are have faith in guys. Come draft day, and they're drafting the right guys, and it just sets up for the future. So he's doing a great job.
And you look at this draft history. The Giants are one. Actually, let me go back. How many draft picks do you guys think the Giants have from 2011? Still on their team. Take a guess.
2011.
2011.
I feel
Justin
like it's
Pugh.
Not much.
Justin Pugh was drafted 2013. 2013.
Ryan Nassib.
That was 2013 also.
You're saying from 2011? How many people?
No, the year 2011. The year 2011.
Who did he
Oh,
draft?
I thought you meant from 2011 on.
No. The year 2011. I'll just say it. The year 2011 and the year 2012, they had 15 draft picks. Not one of those draft picks is on the Giants today.
Really?
Yes. Prince Amukamara was the first round pick of 2011. He left. Marvin Austin, don't remember him.
Marvin Austin.
Jarrell Jernigan, remember him?
Yes.
Jarrell Jernigan.
James Brewer and a bunch of guys I never heard of. Tyler Sash, who just recently passed away. And then 2012, David Wilson. That was bad luck. David Wilson was bad luck. He was explosive. Ruben Randall, bad.
Did he compete? He competed in the Olympics?
He
Not
was
the Olympics.
attempting to.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't make it though?
Because considering he ran, God knows how fast.
Yeah.
J-Ron Hosley, Adrian Robinson, all these guys. Marcus Kuhn was their seventh. None of them are on the Giants anymore. 15 draft picks. Not one of them are on the Giants. And even 2013, Justin Pugh, Jonathan Hankins. Then you have Cooper Taylor there. Ryan Nassib is your backup. DeMontre Moore, he was supposed to be great talent, and then he just couldn't get out of trouble. But 2014, 2015, and 2016, obviously, everyone is still on the team.
Yeah.
Everyone is still on the team. So Jerry Reese has done. You might not have complete star power with the offensive line. Well, you have Eric Flowers, who was first round 2015.
Who hasn't really lived up to it.
23rd, right? Not yet. Same thing with Justin Pugh, first round 2013. Weston Richburg, second round 2014. And they didn't draft a lineman in the draft this year, which I was very surprised about. But to have 2 years, and even 2010, one player, JPP. 2009, Will Beatty. And I think that's it. No one from 08. Zach DiAsi from 2007. So they essentially have no one. So they had 5 bad drafts in a row, essentially. But Jerry Reese is now getting the job done. He's had 3 pretty solid drafts. No star power, but they have consistency. And I think that's what you want.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. I mean,
your one star power is Odell Beckham Jr.
See, what he gets, though, is what I like about him is that he gets NFL-ready players. And it's not just in the first, second round. Obviously, those guys are going to be NFL-ready. It's working your way from the 3rd to 7th rounds when you draft guys like Darian Thompson last
Paul
year.
Perkins.
Guys that
Bobby Hart can play, in my opinion.
No, he can, and especially with Paul Perkins and Darian Thompson. If you want to look at last year's draft, I mean, you take a guy from Boise State who broke the interception record in the Mountain West Conference, not just at the school. A guy that is a ball hawk, someone that you need because that complements Landon Collins being aggressive and being able to tackle. Then you get a guy like Paul Perkins, who supposedly is an all-around back. He needs to work a little bit on his blocking, but he did do that at UCLA, and you can see that he has spurts of, talent. His athleticism is unmatched when he has the ball off these screens. So obviously, Reese understands how crucial the entire draft is, not just the first couple of rounds.
Anyone know why Justin Tucker is still technically listed as an active player?
I have no clue.
No, didn't he retire?
According to Pro Football Reference, he was listed as an active player.
Didn't he do the whole?
That's what I thought he did too.
1-day deal.
That's what I thought he did too. But his name is bolded. Trivia question for you guys.
Eli Manning.
No.
14.
Last, who is? I'm not going to say the oldest, but
oldest Giant.
No. How do I phrase this question?
Don't know. You're the one. You're the one who wants to play trivia.
Who is the oldest draft pick that's still active that the Giants have made? Who's
still
currently in the NFL today?
Oh, he's still in the NFL?
Yeah, he's still in the NFL.
I'm assuming it's not Eli.
It's not Eli.
O.C. Umenyiora retired.
O.C. Umenyiora retired. That's a good guess, though.
That's a good guess.
And it's not Justin Tuck, apparently, even though he's active.
Apparently.
Trick question.
It's no one.
No, it's someone.
Give me a team.
He's not on the Giants anymore.
Give me a team. What team is he on?
That'll give it away.
Will it?
Yeah.
Is it really that bad?
He's on the Chargers.
Oh, Phillip Rivers.
Oh!
See, trick question.
Duh.
So he is the...
Thank God.
So how would I phrase that question?
He is the oldest draft pick
the Giants have made.
That the Giants
He's
have
the
made.
oldest active draft pick.
Yeah.
He's the oldest
active draft pick that the Giants have made.
That's not
Thank God.
That's a good play on words.
You know,
where do you think the Giants would be if they never made that trade?
Never.
Honestly,
not a single Super Bowl.
You know, I hate Phillip Rivers.
You don't like Phillip Rivers.
I'm not a big fan.
And the fact that this year
preseason
preseason they put Phillip Rivers ahead of Eli Manning in the power rankings was nuts.
I still don't know how I feel about him.
I
it's
just
been
don't like
12 years.
You see him throw a ball and don't like him.
Watch him throw.
That's what I'm saying. It was here. What are you
Come
doing?
on.
You're in the NFL.
Well, that team's got loads of problems right now too. So
yeah, that's true. Beast of the East, WRPR 90.3 FM, Ramapo College Radio. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, so enjoy these commercials in the meantime.
Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne. For many years, I've had a drink problem, and I'm trying to battle that problem every single day. But one thing I don't drive my car when I'm drinking. I get someone to drive me. Do not drink and drive. It's the stupidest thing. If you drink, just don't drive. Not only are you going to hurt yourself, you may hurt some other person, and you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you?
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Champion, real-life checks mechanism.
Hi, Shaquille O'Neal for RAD. This is not your normal PSA. Don't be stupid. Don't drink and drive. If you're going to go out and have a good time, it's fine. But designate a driver to drive home. Let's stop the madness. Don't drink and drive.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers for RAD. I'm here to remind you that drunk drivers are still a major killer of young adults in this country. So always choose a designated driver, and remember, music lives, you should too.
Getting born in the state of Mississippi, Papa was a copper and Mama was a hippie.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Beast of the East, WRPR 90.3 FM, Ryan Warwick, Scott Thompson, and Dean Roventini. So you know that thing that we play in the beginning of the show?
Go ahead.
The little sound drop.
No, like
this thing.
Just play it.
This thing.
You are now listening to Beasts of the East with
What is
Ryan
it?
Warwick,
Oh,
Scott Thompson,
is
and
it
Dean
the
Roventini
robot?
on
Oh yeah. You don't have headphones, so you don't know
Yeah,
what we're
headphones
playing
are
right now.
poopy.
That thing, and then the little horn.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Scott and I are going to an event on Monday.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what it is. Hold on, let me. Is it on here? I'm not sure. Anyway, so it was supposed to be hosted by JT Thomas. He can't do it anymore. Now it's being hosted by Dominique Riders-Camardi. So we're going, and I'm not sure exactly what. We can't do a live broadcast this time.
that was fun last time.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
We had 3 headphones, though. We looked like idiots.
Yeah, we did. We had 2 headphones. It was for us two. And
we used the equipment from here. We used the equipment we used. We asked our boss if we could use it, and she's like, "Yeah, go ahead, you can take it."
So we're interviewing people, and we're interviewing. So
like
Olivier
Dean,
Vernon, we had Periscope.
So like Dean, I would ask a question like, "So what do you think?" And I'll finish, and I'm like looking at the person, like nodding my head while I'm giving my headphones to Ryan. It was so weird. It just looked weird.
We let them have the headphones.
Obviously.
And then
wow,
I'm not gonna say gimme it back.
Yeah. So anyway, so back to the whole thing. So Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie's hosting it. I'm not sure if other people. I would assume I don't know. When we went to Lucky Strike, well, Odell came later on. Vernon came later on. Rashad came later on.
This is also going to be coming off of a game too, so you don't know who's going to try to recover, like who's going to be hurt.
It'll be on Monday night.
Again, it's just a wing it, play it by ear sort of thing.
So anyway, whoever's there, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie will obviously be there. We're hoping he could be like, "Hey, this is Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and you're listening to Piece of the East."
That would be cool.
That, you know what that would be? Yeah, you still have no idea what
I
I'm
heard
playing.
it.
It's so fun.
I'll just make a call, man. Do something.
Who, me?
Fix this thing.
I know. I've been meaning to. I really have been, and I just have a lot to do.
It was nice the past 2 days of having headphones.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was. I don't mind.
It's not cool anymore.
All right, just checking. So the Cubs last night. Look at that.
I'm so happy because I was saying last night when everything was happening, I said, you know what? They're gonna win. They're gonna go back to Chicago, and the Giants are gonna win, and it's just gonna be Theo Epstein breaking things in his office. But thank God that wasn't the case.
You got nervous though.
I got nervous.
Yeah,
I'm not even
nervous.
a Cubs fan.
I got nervous.
And I find myself rooting for the Cubs
because I hate that. Because who would you rather? The entire world was going against the Giants. Seriously.
Yes.
Would you rather have a team who hasn't won in over 100 years win a World Series, or would you rather have a team who has won 3 times in the last 6 years win a World Series?
No, you're right. I'd definitely go with the team who hasn't.
And I was so sick of the even year guard. It's an even. Oh, it just magically started working. Why didn't it work in 2008 or 2006, 2004, 2002, or 2000?
Why you gotta look at it like that?
Because I'm literal. You don't get this from me by now?
No, I get that. I'm just saying that the recent trend has been an even year. Going back to 6 years, obviously something's clicked.
Yeah.
But it's also just a great marketing.
That's true. Yeah, it's all marketing. But people actually believe that, though.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, though, on the outside, on both sides, the American League and National League, this has been a very fun postseason to watch.
Yeah.
And we were saying this the other day. Don't care who makes it in from the AL because both these teams have not been there in a while, and you wouldn't mind seeing one of them win. That's why I'm kind of rooting also for the Nationals to win, because if you face the Cubs, I mean, it's going to be 4 teams that haven't won a title or even seen a title in a while.
Well, I'm rooting.
I will be rooting for Cleveland, though, over Toronto. I'm starting to legitimately not like Toronto, though.
Why?
I just don't. I don't like Josh Donaldson. I
don't like him.
I just think he's a punk.
I love it. I think
I don't. I don't like. No. I love the passion, but I don't know.
I like Donaldson. I like him.
Their fans make me. I don't. I'm not going to say I don't like a team because of their fans, but I don't like their fans. So
because of the beer thing.
Yeah, just everything. Even last year too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the one wearing a Cleveland hat, not.
Exactly.
No, but it's like I said. I'll sit down, and being a baseball fan, which is why this postseason has been so good, I can sit down and watch each game and love it because there's suspense. There are great pitching matchups.
Oh, yes.
There's home runs. There's Javier Baez making crazy plays. There's everything you can think of in this postseason so far. Yeah, unfortunately, you have Big Papi getting out, but
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun.
I was actually we talked about this yesterday. When
that's dirt off the shoulder for me.
When the Red Sox lost to the Indians, there was a camera on Papi. Watched it, ran into the locker room as soon as the catch was made, and that's fine with me. It's probably a lot of emotions. This is your final game. You're done. So a lot of emotions running there.
And baseball is really the only sport, and hockey too, where you don't go up to anyone after the game. Football you do, obviously. Because you only see them once a year.
Well, hockey you do in the playoffs. If you eliminate them.
Well, in the playoffs, yes, you have the handshake.
Yeah, you have the handshakes. But anyway, so my problem was Cleveland. You can celebrate, you jump around, whatever you want. You guys did make it. You guys are moving on. Awesome. But my problem was get off that field as soon as possible. You jump around, you do.
So the fans could have.
Yes, have it for Papi.
Well,
the only problem I had was they got the hats, they got the T-shirts. Some guys were getting interviewed still. Go in the locker room. You're away. This is not your field. Go in the locker room. Start popping champagne. Do whatever. Have fun. Get your shirts. Do your thing. Then let Poppy have his thing. It took a while, but eventually Poppy came on the pitcher's mound. Shed a tear or what to, and everyone. As soon as the out happened, the whole entire Fenway was chanting Poppy.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, no, I watched the video of them mobbing each other, and you heard the Poppy chants, and I was like, oh, that's actually. They knew right
awesome.
away. That was pretty cool. I mean, you guys know I don't like them, but that's one hell of a career, and. No fan was leaving until they came back onto the field. No fan was leaving.
If I was a Boston fan, I would never.
Never.
But it's good postseason.
I saw a tweet the other day, though, and this is what I want to talk about.
Sure.
It said something. What did it say? It was like, if the MLB ever puts the DH rule in the National League, I'll be livid, or something like that. See, I understand that National League fans want the pitchers to hit or whatever, and some American League fans do too. And then I saw a reply tweet that was like, yeah, pitchers hitting, that's real baseball. So real baseball is having guys who legitimately are not good hitters get lucky. That's good baseball to you.
That's traditional baseball. That's not good baseball.
Traditional, yes.
And it makes
but it's not good baseball. Well, you know what good baseball is? The steroid era. I hate to say that on radio, but steroids, 1998, that year, that era, baseball was dying. Baseball was a dying sport. And McGwire and Sosa and Bonds, without them, baseball would be dead. It would be dead.
Make a point. Yeah, you're right.
Fans like hitting. I understand that it's hysterical to watch Bartolo Colon round the bases. It's awesome when Jake Arrieta or Madison Bumgarner hit a home run. It's incredible. Cool. But is that good baseball?
That one out of how many at bats?
What's more entertaining? And why do you think American League ERAs are so much higher? Because they face a DH.
Yeah, it's is that your question? Do you want?
Yeah, what is your question?
My question is. Should the NL have a DH?
Absolutely.
I don't care what they do. I just want it to be both. I just want the same thing to happen for both.
DH makes more sense. Exhibit A. Ching-Ming Wang, because he was rounding the bases, basically killed his career. These pitchers aren't used to it. They're not focused on hitting. It's an easy out. It's anything you can. Obviously, not an easy out if you're facing Bumgarner or
the part that's real baseball is a sacrifice bunt. That's real baseball. But Bartolo Colon's slap swing that barely hits the outfield, that's not real baseball.
It's comical, and that's why. I mean, Ryan, like you said, AL pitchers normally have higher ERAs than NL pitchers, and it's. If you like hitting, if you like people on base and scoring plays, obviously you're going to want that DH. But it also comes down to safety as well. You don't want to have that sack bunt every time. It doesn't happen every time as well. I mean, you see pitchers slipping out of the box and running. Clearly, that's not their forte. Let them pitch, let the hitters hit. Plain and simple. And I don't understand why the NL has not gotten that yet. And it seems that they're going to be completely stubborn because obviously it gets brought up every year, and they say no.
And what's funny is at college, everyone has a DH.
Yeah.
In high school, everyone has a DH. It makes sense. You want to put your best hitters out there. You want to give yourself a best chance to win. Pitchers don't do that.
Well, remember, DH is also it's not like a mandatory thing.
That's true.
It is. Obviously, you could put your pitcher out there to hit,
and the Giants did it. The Giants did
it against Oakland.
He did it. Madison Bumgarner was in the lineup.
But that's all for marketing and entertainment. It's all marketing and entertainment at this point now. Because what do you see? What do you see every time Madison Bumgarner hits a home run? Hashtag pitchers who rake. Yeah. It's all marketing, and it's all in entertainment value. Personally, I'm more entertained by a consistent hitter than a pitcher getting lucky. National League fans might feel different because that's what they see. But give me a guy who can get you 25 home runs, 30 home runs, and 90 to 100 RBIs.
It makes games more fun.
Over the pit, it makes games more fun. Exactly. It might not make it more fun in the comical sense. It might make it more fun in the legitimate baseball sense, but I don't care what baseball does, and I do think it's going to change eventually. I just want it to be the same thing for both. Because why should an American League pitcher have to hit against a National League team? And it becomes two completely different sports also. It becomes two completely different ways of managing. Because you have double switches and this and that. I don't know what a double switch is. I legitimately do not know.
Really?
I don't know. My dad tries to explain it to me all the time. It is very confusing. National League fans know what it is. I don't have a clue.
Wait, what's a double switch?
A double switch is this. All right, so say pinch hit for your pitcher. He's in the 9 spot. Say, I'm just going to go based off the Mets for some reason. You pinch hit Conforto for some reason off the bench. He pinch hit for Matt. I don't know why I'm doing these guys, but anyway.
I like it.
So, but that's the lead off the inning. Conforto can get out, whatever. Say you end the inning in the 3 spot. No, that's the 4 spot. If you do the normal switch, the pitcher will still be in the 9 spot, and that means that he's going to be closer. The pitchers will be closer to hitting. You get what I'm saying? If you do the double switch, you keep Conforto in the 9 spot, but you put the pitcher in the 4 spot who got the last out. Okay? You understand? So now, in the sense, when you start over, he's in the 9 spot. Or you can put him anywhere. You can literally put him. If you double switch, you keep the pinch hitter in that lineup spot, and you can take out anyone and put the pitcher there.
So why is that a thing? Why do you have to have 2 separate ways of managing the game?
Exactly, and
that's what bothers.
That's also my thing.
That is what overall bothers me about having a DH in the American League and no DH in the NL, because it's 2 different ways of playing the game. That should not happen.
Here's my question to both of you guys then. For the World Series, when it is AL-NL, do you think that the NL has an advantage because that AL team has to go to their park and then play something that they're not used to?
And then on top of that, you have to. And then the NL has the advantage because the pitcher, the American League pitcher, has to hit. I mean, no, National League pitchers aren't great hitters at that, but they have more practice in doing it. So that's A. B. Let's say the Yankees made the World Series last year. Was Alex Rodriguez going to play?
In the National League games?
In the National League games. Was he going to play?
No.
That's a serious question. A lot of people might say yes because of his bat, and you might risk that defense. I don't think the Yankees, especially Joe Girardi, I don't think they would be willing to risk that defense. David Ortiz, a different story. Plug him at first base. If he makes a great play, he makes a great play. You're going to live and die with David Ortiz because he can bat 300 plus. If A-Rod was batting 300 plus last year, then yeah, you play him. Not when you're batting 250 and every hit that you have is a home run.
In my opinion,
that National League, it's an automatic advantage.
I think they have an advantage, but and then it also plays into how important that All-Star game is. It's baseball is the most important All-Star game in sports. Obviously.
That's why it's.
Don't even get me started on the All-Star game.
All-Star weekend.
It's so the All-Star game is annoying too. But
in my personal opinion, I'm a guy who likes tradition. I like how when you go to the NL, your pitchers hit. I like when in the AL, you have your DH. I think it plays a part into where guys sign, to where people can coach. I think, and coaches adapt. You see what Joe Madden does. He puts the 8 spots to your pitcher, and it should be kind of I don't know. I'm just like I said, I'm a traditional guy. If it changed to both having DHs, fine by me. I'm so for that because, like you said, Ching-Ming Wong was a very good pitcher. Pretty much ruined his career from running the bases.
I mean, that's obviously a freak accident, but
things like that can happen because they're not used to that. They may not have the reaction time to get out of a way of an inside pitch. They don't run bases and they may not know how to slide. Some people don't know how to slide. So it's a freak thing.
So right now, let's say the Indians make the World Series. Who's the Indians DH?
Mike Napoli.
He's been playing
first
Carlos
base a lot.
Santana?
Maybe Santana. Yeah, Santana.
Would Santana play?
No.
Over Mike Napoli?
You actually might put Santana at first and put Napoli on the bench, but that's the thing.
I'm talking behind the plate. You can put Santana behind the plate too. So
yeah, but that guy.
You're right. Again, that's where it comes in. That's where AL teams have to just, I guess, right now buck up and say, all right, we got to just produce. But Corey Kluber, go ahead out there and hit. I mean,
and you know what? Let's say that the National League did have a DH entering next year. Would it be much of a disadvantage for National League players? No. Every National League team has a DH that they could easily
Jay Bruce for the Mets. You want to go back to the Mets? Jay Bruce is your DH. Quote on
Kyle Schwarber, your the Cubs DH.
You can do Conforto for the Mets.
Every National League team would be able to plug in a designated hitter.
Without a doubt.
Why? Because they have a pinch hitter every single game to go in for the pitcher. Always.
That's true.
Always.
But no one has
They don't have legitimate. They don't have a top DH.
Yeah, you're right.
No, but you know what? They'll adapt.
And you can
in 5 years, some of the top DHs would go to National League,
and that can work in their favor too. Is because you can put in a guy who is more defensively sound, say in the outfield, and you have more of a hitting outfield. You working in that way too. So
and that's why, because there were a lot of rumors saying that A-Rod was probably going to go to Miami, and there's a chance that he might do that next year. He's your first pinch hitter. He's your first pinch hitter.
You know who said that? Fagan.
What, that A-Rod was going to go to Miami?
He's like, he's going. I was like, I'll bet you money he doesn't go.
He loves it down there too. Loves Florida.
He's always down there.
He's going to be their owner one day. I'm telling you, prediction, mark it down. A-Rod will be part owner of the Marlins if they stay in Miami, and if they stay in Tampa, Derek Jeter will be a part owner of the Tampa Bay Rays.
You serious?
Yes.
A-Rod will be on TV. And
okay.
Jeter will be off in the sunset.
No, Jeter said he wants to own a team. He's on record saying he wants to own a team.
I think A-Rod, if he's smart, I mean, obviously he's a very, very smart man, but he was almost critically acclaimed last year for doing his World Series coverage. I'm sure he's going to do it again.
Smart.
No, he's been doing it.
You know what the first thing he said?
Because
he's already on Fox Sports. First thing he said: if the Mets catch the ball, they win the World Series. First pitch, Matt Harvey lets up. Yoenis Cespedes drops the ball, then it's an inside the park home run. The guy's a genius.
And it also comes down to how long has he been in front of a podium? His entire life.
That's true.
But so
he's very good at public speaking as it is.
Through adversity and everything else in between that.
Fox Sports they're geniuses. They have A-Rod, Pete Rose, Frank Thomas. 3 of the best players of all time.
I'm not sure if I.
And one of them is going to be.
Not sure if I really liked Pete Rose.
He's very traditional.
That's all for ratings.
I feel like he's going to say something.
And his
wrong.
jet black hair, with wrinkles. Oh,
I do like Frank Thomas though. And then
those are two smart guys.
I think honestly, if you want to talk football too, I would love A-Rod to talk football if he could. You put A-Rod next to Joe Buck.
Didn't he?
Done. What?
Did he? Wasn't he like on?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And last year too, for a little bit.
He broke the thing.
He broke the thing last year, yeah. Beast of the East, WRPR 90.3 FM. We got 10 minutes left on the show. We'll make it about 8.5 or so, I guess. When we come back, so don't go anywhere.
Hey, parents of children with asthma, here's another hit from the Breathe Easies.
Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke around the kids in the house. Don't smoke in the car. Don't smoke in the house. Don't break my heart with your secondhand smoke in the kids and can trigger the asthma.
Preventing asthma attacks can be as simple as making your home and car smoke-free zones. For more Breathe Easy tips to help stop asthma attacks, go to noattacks.org. Brought to you by the EPA and Yadkin.
Hey, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers for RAD. I'm here to remind you that drunk drivers are still a major killer of young adults in this country. So always choose a designated driver, and remember, music lives, you should too.
Getting born in the state of Mississippi. Papa was a copper and the mama was a hippie.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
What's up, what it do? I ain't trying to do too much but come through. Cartier frames too much, but it's cool. The only thing strange, they won't get off you.
So, entering this portion of the show, we had no idea what we were going to talk about.
ESPN.
We didn't have a clue what we were talking about going into the last portion of the show. We didn't have a clue what we were talking about on the show a half hour before the show started.
I didn't even know there was a show.
There was a show. So
we have evidence at 5:11. Dean texted, "There's a show."
That's true.
We're doing
That's
a
true.
show.
Actually, we gotta get some interviews lined up or something. We gotta kill time or something.
You know what? We should probably just bring in athletes. Basketball starts in. You want to do a basketball preview?
We can
Maybe
do
on
that, too.
Friday?
We can do that, too. We'll figure it out.
We don't know anyone. They don't like us.
Yeah. So, 7.5 minutes left, 6:52 here in Mahwah, New Jersey. And so we had no idea what we were talking about up until about 85 seconds ago. ESPN alert. Ravens cornerback Jimmy Smith. Anyone ever hear of him?
No.
All right.
Just keep
Sounds
going.
like a common name.
Jimmy Smith. 8 Mile, B Rabbit.
Okay.
Jimmy Smith
Continue.
Jr. He says, quote, there's going to be a fight if Giants Odell Beckham Jr. hits him after the whistle on Sunday. I have a question for you guys.
Oh, I love questions.
We have all been very critical of Odell Beckham Jr.
Mm-hmm.
But
He scored.
has he ever hit someone, with the exception of Xavier Rhodes, where that was a bit of a mutual thing,
What was the
has he ever, including Josh Norman, because again, mutual thing, has Odell Beckham Jr. ever hit anyone after the whistle? Has he ever started anything after the whistle?
Not at all.
No. Not even against Josh Norman.
Plain and simple, no. I mean, everything he does is...
Could be cheat, but it's not
Yeah,
before,
I'm
it's
trying
before the whistle.
I'm trying to be very sensitive with this. It's everything is done in game. When the whistle happens, the guy
Whether
walks
it's
back
clean
to
or
the
not,
huddle.
whether it's clean or not, it's during the game.
And he walks back
unless
to the
if it's
huddle.
mutual. Unless if it's mutual.
And you made a good point. Who's the one hitting him after the whistles?
Corners.
Who's the one getting in the face after the whistles, with the exception of Xavier Rhodes?
Corners.
The corners. So it's... Can we just get away from this guy? Can we just stop talking about Jimmy Smith? You wanted your 5 seconds of fame because you brought up Odell Beckham's name?
I was just gonna say that. That's what he's probably doing. One, he's doing this for he could say, "Hey guys, I'm Jimmy Smith. Thanks for noticing me." And then 2, he just goes, "Well, here's I see that people talk stuff about Odell Beckham. That's how he gets him in his head." Shot fired, number 1.
But you know what? The way Odell handled himself on Sunday, though.
Great. Positive. Hopefully a positive in the right direction. Everyone's like, he's fine now. You can't go off off 1 week.
And
but I'm sure he gets the point.
I hope so. He did get targeted real quick in that game, so I think that helped too.
No, he did.
It's not even that, too. I mean, when he scored his first touchdown, which is mind-boggling, in week 5, what did he do? Picks up the ball, walks back, runs back.
What I saw a tweet though. It might have been from
I never go on Twitter.
Ralph Vacchiano of the Daily News.
Hey, Ryan lives on Twitter. What are you talking about?
But there was something. I forgot what it said, but I think it said that when Odell was running back and kissing the net or whatever, Olivier Vernon didn't even acknowledge him.
What?
When he scored the touchdown and he was running to kiss the net or whatever.
It was afterward. I remember the video.
And Vernon just didn't even bother to look at him or anything. I don't know what I take that as.
I take that as the dumbest media thing you could think of.
But someone said it was very telling.
Telling in what aspect?
I don't. I wish I can find
telling.
this tweet.
Vernon was looking at the jumbotron, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't even remember.
Who cares if he didn't acknowledge him? He had to get on the field and really dig deep because you had to get a stop.
It's literally someone in sports media who's just trying to.
I don't look at
no,
stuff
but
like that.
It's a guy who I really like though, which is surprising.
Who?
I can't remember. It might have been Ralph Vacchiano.
Did you favorite it?
Think about it this way though. You want to talk about telling as in what they don't respect Beckham Jr.
That's what I think they meant.
Okay, well, how about this? Let's take it from our own personal aspect, Ryan. Who did Olivier Vernon walk in with to Lucky Strike when we were at the event with David Tyree?
Odell.
The two of them together walked in.
Oh, that's cool.
You really think that they don't respect each other? Like I said, Vernon had to get back on the field. He had to bear down and try to get a stop, and he was looking at the jumbotron, I remember, when he walked by. Odell was just walking straight. He wasn't even looking at any of his teammates. He didn't dap anyone up. He just kept walking.
You want to go to the net?
I hate stories like that, or hate assumptions of that nature.
Trying to kind of get a rise, I guess.
I wish I saw it.
I say it all the time. I hate sports media, even though like I want to work in sports media.
No, it is. There are good parts. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You like being able to capture, the intensity.
I just saw a really funny tweet. Funny, all these guys who scream about football on TV, telling Odell Beckham Jr. to control his motions. They yell about sports for a living. It is pretty funny. I hate assumptions like that, though. Like it's too completely different.
Always trying to find something bad. Always trying to find some team chemistry that's being killed or a locker room incident. It's awful. I mean, why would you look at it that way? Just because a guy was looking this way and Odell was looking dead straight, not really paying attention to anybody?
Well, they're not real teammates if they don't high five after every single play.
That's honestly the gameplay. Everything has to be all roses.
I tried to search for it and I can't find it. But again, the way Odell handled himself on Sunday, a step in the right direction. But Jimmy Smith saying there's going to be Odell does not hit anyone after the whistle unless if it's mutual.
If anything, he's antagonized.
He always is. I mean, we say that, and we're Giant fans, so like people can easily say
Jimmy Smith. I've never heard of Jimmy Smith in my life.
Jimmy Smith,
B Rabbit. But again, I've never seen Odell hit anyone after the whistle. Again, unless if it's mutual. Unless if it's him and Norman tackling each other to the turf. But again, like you said, Scott, 5 minutes. 5 minutes of fame. That's all it is. It's not even 15.
It's going to be a fight. What are you going to do? Get suspended?
Get toasted?
Have fun.
That's what's going to happen. Odell's, I mean...
But again, look what the media focuses on. Again, Odell Beckham, one incident. How do you focus on how the Giants really need to change their entire team right now if they want to be a playoff contender?
The problem is Eli right now.
Jimmy
the problem
Smith,
is Eli.
27th pick overall in the 2011 draft, played at the University of Colorado.
Still never heard of him.
So you didn't even play in the ACC or the SEC or the Big 12. You played at the University of Colorado.
Hey, come on now. Carson Wentz practically played D2 football. And he's second overall.
Practically, it basically was D2.
He has
again, I know his name, and he's good. I've never heard of Jimmy Smith in my life. Plain and simple.
WRPR 90.3 FM Mawa. Thank you very much for tuning in to today's show. Ryan Moore, Scott Thompson, Dean Rovatini, Beast of the East right here on Right Up College Radio. With us, not goodbye to see you later. But Dean, you won't be here later because you have class tomorrow. Scott and I will be right here in the studio on WRPR 90.3 FM tomorrow. So, Scott and I will see you later. So long and take care, everybody.